What's up, people? Welcome back. Nothing like a choppy, awful, disgusting morning to ruin my weekend. To ruin a weekend that was fantastic. Fantastic for my standards. This one's going out to Lady Gaga, someone who's being robbed. How do you have 5 #1 hits off one album and lose to Taylor Swift, who apparently cannot sing? Did you see her giving it a shot there, like Stevie Nicks? Stevie Nicks just crawled out of her box and it was so much better than whatever this Taylor Swift creature could try to belt out there. Stevie Nicks rocked it, and this girl's struggling to try to keep along, and you give her the Grammy? Come on. The music industry is so flawed. All I know is I did get inspired by the Grammys, so I went out and stole another 30 songs off of Napster or whatever that LimeWire is. How do you even make money in the music industry anymore? I haven't bought a song, I haven't bought any record since Number of the Beast back in 1986 when I bought it on vinyl. Come on. But the Grammys, you guys watch it? It was awesome. There was one part. Did you catch Pink du Soleil? You know what I'm talking about? Pink, dressed in like, she was all hanging from the rafters. It was unbelievable. Fantastic stuff. And you know what? You know you have a good wife. When I'm in the other room, I'm kind of watching, I'm not watching. You know you have a good wife when you hear from the other room, "Hun, come in. Pink's getting naked." I'm running in there. What? What's going on? And then my mother-in-law turns to me. She's like, "Wow, Bridget Nielsen, she could sing? I didn't even know she was still in this industry." Bridget Nielsen. Bridget Nielsen's career's been over since she took Flavor Flav up the ass. So, Cirque du Soleil, yeah, so if you saw what a joke these award ceremonies are. And it was like the awkwardness of Colbert. He was just, I like the guy a little bit, but it seemed very, very just awkward. But, okay, so let's talk about what not to do. Today's Monday, we're just sitting back, we're waiting. I've already put myself in a really awful mood trying to trade this choppiness. It's a waste of time. Don't even try. I'm not even gonna watch anymore till 10:30 now. Wait till everything settles out. There's a million opportunities. Why get mad about missing one or two that actually do follow through from 9:30 on? Because they hardly ever do. You're gonna get chopped no matter what. And today, it's just the chop is just absurd. So we did well with the snail dick options. I was having a good weekend. I got to come in and I got to ruin my good mood. I mean, my weekend was so good. I went out Friday to play poker. Didn't win any money. Then I went out Saturday night without my wife. Hung out with my friends. My wife told me to wake her up when I got home. I crawled into my house at 3 o'clock in the morning. Next thing you know, my wife's getting out of bed, throwing some Listerine in and saying, "Let's go." I thought I was hallucinating. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, really? I was in shock. I thought my wife was abducted or something, or replaced with an exact replica. It was amazing. But let's talk about some stocks here. Remember that stock Heat that we were liking so much on the momentum from China? Now China's been exposed. So you got the APWR, you got the Heat, you got Baidu earnings coming out. But this Heat, this is a stock that looks like everybody just got suckered into. IBD putting it on their list for the top story of 2010. Everybody was talking about this Heat. So the stock was hit about $18. Now it's at $11. Can't find a bid. This is the kind of stock that you might want to try to play a straddle on. Because at this point, as you know, we don't know anything. This could not even be a legitimate company. They don't even have a Chinese person on their website. Come on. Stay with you go to the website, it's this old dude and his child and a girl like smiling. Meanwhile, they're a Chinese company that makes like devices to clean up the environment. I don't know. You can't trust it right away. That's like trusting the CEO that's wearing a toupee. We had a company, I forgot which company it was, but the CEO came on, obviously wearing a toupee. And so whatever he said, all I heard was wah, 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 wah. It was like Charlie Brown. How can you trust a guy who can't be brave enough to rock the baldness? You're wearing a toupee, you're obviously a liar. You're trying to fool us. Why should we believe anything you have to say? So any of these Chinese companies, what you want to do is, chances are some of these stocks are going to be at zero this year. Zero. Gone. Pink sheet, penny stock, garbage. Heat could be one. Because I've never seen a stock that could just get so unloved in a blink of an eye, no news out there, just getting hammered. It's like they suckered you in, and it's time to pull the rug out. Because it's exactly like a penny stock. $18 to $11 without even having just even a hint a hint of stopping going down. So I'm looking at $10 puts right now. But of course, we don't know. We don't know. This could be just manipulation. And they can report earnings that are super, even though fabricated. What you want to do is maybe get some $12.50 calls, maybe the $15 calls, because for all we know is they could rip this stock up 100% on an earnings report that's fabricated by the Chinese government, the communist government that we trust so much. Or we'll wake up one day and the stock will be at zero. So that's where options come into play. If you don't know the direction that the stock's going to go in, because we never know. I mean, you can look at your chart and you can do all your research and all that stuff. Hey, at 18, that stock looked like it was ready to go to 20, 25, 30. I mean, that's why I tell you to come to the chat room, because I've been telling you to short this stock forever. People say, hey, it's time to play a bounce on it. Why? Why would you want to play a bounce on a stock that's disintegrating? It's awful, gross, disgusting. The bids get hit. You'll see 100 guys. You'll see 10,000 on the bid. Slap. They get hit. Gone. There's not a bid on this. It's getting destroyed again. There's no reason to be going near some of these stocks. They've been exposed. That's what happens when the sell-off comes. The companies that get exposed to the weakness, like the U.S. Steel. And hey, listen, I told you to get out of the U.S. Steel in the 60s. I said if you bought this thing in the $35, $40 range, you're not selling it for a 20-point gain, you're out of your mind. As much as it could have went to 75, like I was saying, and I'm going to own up to it. I mean, that was the point where I was like, it looks like it might go to 75 because there was that, if you looked at a chart, it did look like the momentum was going to carry it to 75. But as soon as it reversed, boom, you have to change your mind. That's why you have to come to the chat room. I didn't tell one person to buy that stock. I was telling people to short that stock at $63. Not one person on the face of the earth can deny that, okay? As much as I loved it, screaming and crying about how I was in the $35 calls and I blew out of it, that was then, this is now. That's why you have to be nimble. That's why it's sometimes you have to give Kramer a benefit of the doubt. I know, everybody hates the guy. But obviously he has more money than you and I probably put together. Because you have to be nimble. So one day if he says he likes something, and then 3 days later he doesn't like it, it's because something's changed. You have to change. You have to change. Okay? Think about how the market sentiment has changed over the last 3 weeks, right? First, it was Dow 20,000. We were going up on air, which is, I was skeptical the whole time. But if that's the way they want to do it, if the mutual fund outflows is something that I always watched. There's no money going into the mutual funds. Where's the money coming from? The earnings weren't any good, so we were coming into the earnings season. It was going to be proving ground. Put up or shut up, and so far it's time to shut up. I mean, I'm amazed. Thank Christ. Thank God I didn't hang on to this heat. I mean, I was loaded up. I was loaded up on this thing, thinking it was going to go to 20. Thank God I got stopped out. You got to use stops. It takes the emotion out of it. I was like, wow, I can't believe this thing's going below 17.5. Now it's at 11. Just hit 1080. No bids. No bids on the stock. It's just like a penny stock. It's unbelievable. So what we should be looking for right now is no matter what the market does, we could go up, we could go down today. I think the trend on earnings obviously has been proven that we've been selling on earnings reports. So look for some stocks that have gone, up tremendously, which is not hard to find. And, give yourself a straddle. And if you know what that is, you can't make money on these straddles all the time. Okay, because you have to compensate for the side that you're going to be losing money on. So the stock's at 23 and you're buying a $24 call and a $23 put. The stock's got to move enough to compensate for the losing side. Granted, you could trade out of it. Sometimes it works out that great. You have a pop and the stock will reverse. You can make money on both sides if you're so inclined and you're that lucky. But I don't know, man. I mean, half the stocks that I've been watching for the last month and a half are gone. Rambus came out with that great news. Oh yeah, they got their money from Samsung. Who gives a shit? That's what basically it turned out to be. Stock popped. It's already lower than where it came from before the pop. Who gives a shit? Alcoa. Who gives a shit? U.S. Steel. Who gives a shit? Nobody gives a shit. What am I gonna do? I got one stock. Yeah. So right now the two stocks that I still own, I got Digital Globe up 2 cents, and the Hearn. Once again, I'm in a stock that could easily go to zero. As much as I think Hearn seems like it's a business model where somebody might want to take them over. They're a struggling company with some SEC regulations, but they still have some good internal stuff going on there that I think that somebody might come along and buy them out. It could happen a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, but the stock just every time it rallies, it just hits a brick wall and comes right back. I don't know. But watch, heat will be at $20 by tomorrow. Because we don't know. We don't know.
Your mother likes it.